Good morning, participants. Mr. Raymond, we request you to share your PowerPoint screen and check your audio.
Okay.
Yes, you're audible.
Test, test. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir. We are able to
Okay.
hear you.
Well, I want to test my picture, right? Okay. Could you see my person, my PPT, PowerPoint?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, so you start after the welcome address. S- We'll have a welcome address. After that, you start. Thank you.
Okay.
Very good morning to one and all present here, and thank you for joining us. Just before we get started, I would like to express my gratitude to all of you who so generously helped us make this event come together smoothly. Dr. Novita, Stay Home University, and other members of organizing team. It is my great pleasure to welcome you to the 5 days webinar series here in collaboration with GMA St. John the Baptist University, Malawi, and University of Stay Home, Indonesia through the online platform. We are looking forward to learning and sharing fruitful experience at this series. On this special occasion, first I would like to welcome our director, Dr. Ignatius A. Herman, DMI Group of Institution, Reverend Fathers, Reverend Sisters, Dr. I. Jerin Leno, Vice Chancellor, heads of all departments, faculties, and all participants of both DMA SJBU and Stay Home University. I welcome you all. Amidst us, we have an incredible person, Professor Roymon Panjaitan, University of Stay Home, lecturer of Business Department, who is going to enlighten us on the webinar on maintaining business resilience in turbulent time. Welcome you, sir. We are much proud to have such an eminent person with us. Now I hand over the session to Professor Roynman to proceed. Have a great session to you all.
Okay, thank you. Good morning to all of you, everybody. Thank you to Miss Glory Jerry. Okay, firstly, I want to thank you. It's a pleasure for me to be invited speaker as visiting lecturer between DMS St. John Baptist University and Stacom University. I will present a topic entitled Maintaining Business Resilience in Turbulent Times. Okay, let me show our present. The exciting thing in my countries, such as Indonesia particular, Indonesia has 4 pillars of the Indonesian Council for Small Business. So the question that must be resolved is how these SME actors can survive. Of course, sustainable business competition for superior MSA, it must be supported by the role of researchers, governments, entrepreneurs, and educators. The collaboration of the 4 pillars must have a place to collaborate. So there is a need for the role of integrator partner. The integrator will open national, regional, and international network. Okay, we know in Indonesia have 4 pillars of Indonesia Council Small Business. The question is how the competitive SMEs can be grown. So let our explain. The first steps of maintaining business in positioning differentiation, building a brand. So in this our present MSM entrepreneurship have 4 pillars. First, researcher. We know the researcher is the people who base our research on market trends and stock market historical performance data. And then the second, government. And the third, entrepreneur. And the fourth, educator. The 4 pillars need integrator partner. So national, international network is a very important to combination for 4 pillar Indonesian conventional small business. Okay. We know how the way to make in MSME in Indonesia is grow up. So the positioning of Indonesia conventional small business need 3 pillars. So that positioning organization that strengthen the entrepreneurial capabilities of micro, small, and medium-sized entrepreneurs in Indonesia to be more competitive. After we have a positioning, we must have a brand integrity. The brand integrity how to be different from the others. And then after we have a differentiation, we must have a brand image. 4 pillar integration context omni. And then we must have our infrastructure, structure and relevant national, regional, international network. And the brand must have a brand identity, so that the positioning of the strengthened entrepreneurship in MSME are competitive. Okay, the impact of COVID-19 pandemic to SME, so very impact for our country, especially for developing countries such as in Indonesia. This pandemic affecting most of SMEs sectors like handicraft, food and beverage, creative industry, fashion, travel, etc. According to Ministry of Cooperative and SMS of the Republic of Indonesia, these are obstacles facing the SME. Decrease in sales almost 56%, and then difficulties in financing almost 22%, obstacles in distribution almost 15%, difficulties in finding supplies, almost 4%. And the point 3 impacting our points is the value chain. And for SME employees, 97% of national workforce hold an important role in the national company. Therefore, all stakeholders should help SME to maintain and sustain their business. So that the impacts of the biggest impact in Indonesia after pandemic to SME. And then we must know how the primary data insight from the survey result from ICSP Indonesia Online Academy in May 2020, Indonesia have 4 aspects who will be get a disaster from the COVID-19. The first is marketing aspect, decrease of customer demand, almost 78.2%, and then difficulties to sell or go online, 70%, and then point 2 operational aspect, price hike in raw material, 51.8%, challenges in obtaining raw material, almost 32.9%, and then human resource aspect, the cost of the motivation of works, about 53.3%, decrease in productivity, 29.7%, and then the 4th financial aspect, cash flow problem, almost 58.2%, and due date of loan payment, about 38.8%. So that the primary data insight from in May 2020. Okay, the data, we have a result from financial condition in May 2020. We know this is the graphic, how the financial vulnerability is the main problem faced by MSME. We look the graphic, we have a for graphic, for the first already no cash and saving almost 50%. And then cash or fund to be run out in amount of about 30, and then enough saving liquid asset about 30%, and others about under 10%. Okay. SMA in October 20, we know most small business could shut down in 6 months due to COVID-19. In Indonesia, many people MSME is dropped or down. So according to the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, about 60% of small business might only survive 6 months in the pandemic restriction were still placed. So that Minister for Cooperatives and SME, Teten Mas Duki, had released almost 88% of government's relief fund from the PEN program. So that the hard condition and the government action in October 2020. Another condition in several SME right the momentum to grow business. We know this is the how in other side we know have this disaster can be make a drop MSA, but the other side we know like Aquascape is grow up and Historia business like a Social Bella is grow up. On the other hand, there are success stories where their business has risen with the existence of the pandemic, such as those Aquascape and Sociala Historia. Okay, like this. Okay, and then government released a scheme. How do we a regulation from government to release a scheme to help SME? Of course, this is the need for SME to grow up and can be survive, and then they can be improve their financial performance and then marketing performance, so they can grow up to the next level. On Wednesday, 29 April 2020, our President Joko Widodo led the mitigation planning meeting regarding the impacts of COVID-19 to SME. Some regulation have made a decision. The President announced 5 schemes for SME protection and recovery impact by COVID-19 pandemic. These 5 schemes are arranged to help the same sustain themselves during after COVID-19. So let's read our schemes in Indonesia. The summary government scheme for SME. Scheme 1, policy highlight, social aids. And then 2, tax incentive for SME. And then the given 3, loan restructuring for SMEs, working capital, 4, loan relaxation for SME. And then 5, government institution of the off-taker to absorb some SME business output. So that the 5 scheme from government to help SME. Now we will know the step how they can be grow up, scheme implementation in timeline, when to implement its scheme effectively. In scheme 1, we know the time and condition is very collapsed. The SME condition is collapsed, and then how they are grow up and how they are improve their knowledge, they need preparing. So from scheme 1 to scheme 2, 3, and 4, this is a short term to grow up to next level to preparing. So from preparing, they must be adaptation for actualization. So the scheme 5 for a long term. So that the next level from the declining, from preparing and actualizing, this is from scheme 1, scheme 2, 3, 4, and 5. Need a long-term and short-term level atau step. Okay. And then we have a 4 quadrant for successful implementation. We know when we get a disaster, we must be how do we can resilient to get a maintain business. So that depends on both government and entrepreneurs themselves. We can see the 2 quadrant from the government and from the SME entrepreneur. From the government, we must plan to execution and policies. From government, they have to regulation, how the way to make an execution and policies. In Indonesia, we know policies so very fit, but the execution is getting slow, so that it's not a linear or can be together to get from regulation and execution. So that's very slow in execution. And then we know in the quadrant 2, SME entrepreneur uncontrollable because the condition is very drop, so that entrepreneurship still feel weak, okay, kemudian, and then professionalism is still low, so that impact of SME entrepreneur from the implementation and how the way can be grow up, so that we must make a plan to get grow up and to increase their capital to get a financial performance. Okay, and then how do we tips for SME business resilience in turbulence? We know if some countries, especially from developing countries in Indonesia, is so very hard and so very difficult for SME, including in part of a finance capital or mentality, so that very drop. So the two important to can get grow up from the disaster. For the first, must be professional, be more professional, and the second, be more entrepreneurial. So that the very important. How the way SME business resilience in turbulence, and then after they grow up, they must be a professional. Let's see the professional. What's some aspects to be considered for better professionalism? For the first one, I think for SME, they need access to capital or funding. How do we can get grow up? So they need access to capital and they get a loan, or maybe they can get something capital or fund from the other institution, so that they can use their financial to get more and can grow up their capital. Okay, so that after capital we need human. So that's more important because the mentality from Indonesia is very down, so that they need high quality human resource. After the human resource, they need strategy to tap market demand. So they need make a plan to how the way can be grow up, so that they must be how do we find some like a collaboration, or maybe they need some strategy for grow up, and then they need innovation business. So the innovation business is the very important for like developing countries, because innovation is the way how they can be grow up, and of course from innovation they can be a differentiation product from the others, and of course they can be a competitive advantage in market penetration. Okay, and this step 5, they need proper financial report. Of course, they're very important because financial report is very important to make a loan. How they can be improve their institution or their country or their corporate, so they need a loan, so that they make also, or they make some financial report to get a loan. Okay, and then 6, the utilization of internet. So that's very important because from 4.0 and to 5.0 they need digitalization to promote their product. Okay. Be more entrepreneurial, give courage and guidance to be more entrepreneurial. So we are an entrepreneur, or we can get grow up from entrepreneur resilience, we must see the opportunities, of course, not only threats. Entrepreneurs should be able to find opportunities to sustain their business. We can find another product or another strategy to get us some opportunity, so that don't be wait, because only wait we can get anything. So that we must be find opportunities to get some another product to sell, or to can get to maintain our business, and then we can be competitive from the other. Okay. Second, willing to take calculate risk. All risks should be calculated, because this is very important. Don't make any business decision based on speculations. So that's very important, because business is business. So that's very important to how they can avoid from risk, and then they can be drop, and then they can be grow up to calculate risk. Okay, engage, collaborate with others, collaborate to find resources needed to give added value. Of course, this is very important too. They need to find some resources. We know the resources is intangible asset and unintangible asset. SME doesn't have to face the crisis alone. Okay. So that the some condition in Indonesia, and then the question: what hope for the future? How they can be grow up to the future? I think that fourth step, they must be thinking for next level. First is higher, be of professionalism and entrepreneurship. So that's very important, I think. And then to be a better SME entrepreneurs, and then better SME performance, how to get increase SME performance, and then the last economic growth, so they can be a stronger and hope they can be survive, and then they can sustainable in their business. Okay. So let we know what is the competitiveness in business. So that's a very important question for us if we are on business. So that must be know the meaning of competitiveness. Individuals or organizations who have the competencies built on strong capabilities and effective resources. So that is very important. Individuals or organization, and then individuals must be have competencies with strong capabilities. So they need the capabilities and effective resources, which allowing them to be able to compete with relevant competitors. Based on a sound strategy, excellent tactics, and productive execution that provide them with sustainable competitive advantage, which ultimately enables them to maintain their long-run existence in a specific domain of competition. So that's the meaning of competitiveness. I think that's very important for businessmen. Okay, this is how they can be built competitiveness. The program CIEL. From the marketing, they must have a character dynamic. So dynamic is they must have ideas, solution, capital, and margin. So that 5D into 4C, that's very important. They can move to 5D to 4C. And then the fundamental step, they need the competitiveness, they need to grow up GDP and into 90. So that the humanity is very important too. The humanity must have a values, monetization, and result. And the third, they have many finance, because the finance have a capital, therefore can be survive, or they can be have capital to grow up, and then they need a technology, of course. the past and present, then the future, they need finance. So that fourth step to building a competitiveness. And then this is the graphic from commodity, the difference from differentiation. We know in marketing or in market, we have 2 points important about the pricing and market. So that we know that undifferentiated is very low competitive position and the high differentiated. Market pricing premium. When we get commodity product, we must be a customization for product. How they can be make a change differentiation product is very important. So that the relevant to make a needs of customer in commoditization to commodity product. Okay, so that how the different commodity and differentiation. From the Skomentarian trend, from the Skomentarian theory, from innovation theory, how they can be building competitiveness, cost and profits per unit of time, they need approximately about zero economic profit, cost of invention, and then they can move to invention copied by others, innovation rates. So that's very, it must be calculate how they can be from the cost invention move to invention copied by the others. And then this is the securing sustainable competitive advantage on becoming a progressive company. So let me show you about becoming a progressive company. How we can be move from weak to strong. So that in marketing have 4 quadrants. The first, digitalization orientation, has a Puritan, reactive, progressive, and conservative. So if we want to grow up from the weak to strong, we must be a progressive, because this is the main goal for company to get a grow up from the drop and into MSME performance. Okay. How we know? We must know characters of progressive company like what? In Indonesia, we have an organization. Okay, organization must be adaptive and flexible, of course. KPI, so that's the value, key performance indicator, comprehensive financial and non-financial, subjective and objective, from and digital transaction, and then they need strategic capability. How they can be improve the strategy? They need a dynamic capability, market driving, and then marketing capability, need customer, product, and brand management. Marketing concept, they must have a new wave marketing, center of gravity, solution centric. Selling point, customized customer experience, product and service. Tech and talk, high tech, high touch, and then product and service must be customized product and service, price, dynamic pricing, platform integrate and consistent omni-channel. About the loyalty must be get strong loyalty level due to lock-in mechanism, strong advocacy, brand, living brand, indicators, relevant and seamless. Competitive advantage must be a sustainable competitive advantage. So that's a character, how they can be make a progressive company. So the last in our present, we know COVID-19 since 2020 make some effect for industry, sector industry, especially from Indonesia. 2020 is the time for very dangerous and then very drop economy, so that how the country can be recovery from the disaster. From the 2020 to 2021 until now, 2022, entering the political year from Indonesia. Because the 2 years in present, Indonesia will get choosing a president. So that's the time for recovery from economy. And then from the 2020, they need moving from 3 years into 2025. That's the time, the general election. That's the time for reform. Yes, from the reform. And then this is when we are just starting the time to be able to get through. And after the pandemic, Indonesia is expected face recovery in 2022 in these 2 years. When it enters the political year, then in 2022 into 2025, this is the time for strategic reform in all sectors. In 2024, there will be a general election. In 2025 until 2023, it is estimated that it will be time for new gen leaders to leader for 11 years. And in the end, Indonesia will led by leaders from a new generation. Finally, in 2045, it is predicted that Indonesia will achieve golden Indonesia. So that's the trajectory from 2022 until, and hope in 2045 Indonesia get golden Indonesia. So the important is how can we get a great momentum Indonesia decade in 2030. We have 5 great momentum. For the first, demographic bonus. Second, sustainable development goal 2030. And third, the starting of generation alpha. We know human must be a regeneration, and in 2030 we can get the time for the starting of generation alpha, and 4, platform for Journal Indonesia 2045, and 5, national optimism post COVID-19. Okay. So that conclusion I want to convey is that change will occur at any time and is expected. The ability of SME actors to remain resilient must be addressed by the presence of intelligent, proactive capability of MSME and the role of education, stakeholders, and the government as a regulation to bridge the resilience of MSME to achieve resilient SME. I think that's a presentation from me. When I return to the moderator, thank you.
Okay, so participants, if you have any questions at this time, you may ask.
So, dear Professor, so kindly share your email ID in chat box. So, if the participants have any doubt, they will contact you through your mail. Okay, thank you, Professor. Yes, you have provided a lot of information to us about maintenance of business with clear ideas. Thank you for your time. Thank you once again on behalf of DMA St. John the Baptist University, Malawi, and University of Stockholm, Indonesia. Dear participants, really it's a great pleasure to wish you all once again. Last but not the least, once again, I would like to thank all the delegates, the university authorities, and keynote speakers. So tomorrow we will all meet again with a new topic, with new information. Thank you one and all. I wish everyone a successful, safe, and fruitful day. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Gloridian.
Thank you. Thank you.